everyone, Amanda here from Create with Scrimping Mommy. So I'm here with class 3. I think we're on class 3 of the Alice 8x8 mini album. So far, class 1 we constructed the cover. Class 2 we did the elements on the inside of the front cover and the back cover, and we created page 1. Okay, so this is an online class. There's a cutting guide available. Okay, and there is a paper collection, a digital paper collection, specially designed. Okay, I'll leave the playlist in the description box below so you can easily find class 1 and class 2, and there's also a video explaining about the online class and where you can get it. So we're doing page 2 and 3 today. Okay, so let's just move this out of the way. So I'll show you what I've done. So I do all of my cutting and my scoring according to the cutting guide. Then I add my tape on and I put them in little bundles and I put a sticky note on them. So we've got page 2 front, page 2 back, page 3 front and page 3 back, and I clip them together so that I know what's what and I work on one at a time. Okay. One other thing I just want to prompt you to, although I know that you'll know this, when we're cutting into 12x12 cardstock, because you will need 12x12 for a lot of these, although some of the internal bits you can get away with using A4, I keep all of my scraps to one side, and whenever I'm doing a cut, I will check my scraps first before cutting into a new sheet of 12x12. When you're cutting into your sheets of 12x12, think carefully which way you're going to cut it. I generally do the shortest measurement first, cut, and then the longest, to try and make my cardstock last a bit longer. I mean, it's the same surface area, but you know what I mean. There's a way that, just think about it carefully so that you're not wasting your cardstock. And any scraps that you have left over, you can make photo mats out of them. You can use them for closures, you can use them for backing embellishments, you can make journal cards from them, so it doesn't go to waste. Okay, small little pieces like this I'll just throw away, but larger pieces I will save when it's cardstock. I don't save scraps of paper, but I will save cardstock. Right, so we're going to do page 2. So let me move these bits out of the way. I've got these are my sample pages that I made out of very cheap and nasty cardstock. So I've just got these at the side of me to remind me where things go. So here's page 2. Okay, we've got our flap there. It's folded under. All right, so page 2 front. So these are the parts. So let me just remove that sticky note. So we have got E1 and 2, okay, E1, E2, F, and then we've got H1, H2, and G. Right, let me just remind myself which way around we're doing it. So I'm going to do, we'll do E and F. Okay, so we're doing E and F first. So here's E1 and E2. Cut and scored according to the cutting guide. E1, where you've scored, that's where you put your tape and you fold and you burnish. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay, I should have it tattooed on my hand because I cannot stress enough how important it is to burnish the heck out of everything. Okay, So E1 is going to attach to our page with the flap, and it's going to go near the spine side, okay? But before we do that, I'm going to attach the pocket. So the pocket here is E2. So I've scored all of those. I'm going to cut across where the score lines intersect and you have an X to create a pocket. And we're cutting across on the diagonal like so. Always checking that one overlaps. I'll take a bit more off. Let me check. Always checking that these don't overlap, and they don't. And then I always go and I always do an extra burnish. Okay. So E1, you've got your flap there that's going to attach to the page in a minute. This pocket here has got 3 flaps and it's going to attach there so that the opening is there, okay? So let me get my pokey tool. I just feel like there's a bit of resistance there, so I'm just going to do a bit of extra burnishing. Okay, there we go. So I can remove my tape and we will get all of the... I'm keeping this video running until these 2 pages are finished, and then in the next video, okay, I'm going to be showing you some decorative elements. I may well not show you every single mat and layering of the papers, but any of the decorative elements like the closures and things like that I'm going to come up with, or any fancy bits, I will come and share with you, okay? Some I might do a full tutorial, some might be show and tell, okay, because they'll be super simple. Okay, so this is going to go on here. All right, so it's going to go close up to the edge. Have I got that flush on that one? Yeah, I've got it flush right up to the edge, I think. Yes. Flush up to the edge of there. Get it lined up. I always do the corner first. You don't want it protruding. Okay, I've not got that on very straight. I've not got that on terribly straight. Can I live with it? I can live with it. Okay, take your time. Mine's just peeking down there a right little bit. Can you see? But I'm not going to redo the whole thing. It's only a tiny bit. Now this is going to go on page 2. Now here is how you centre them, because this wants to be centred. Okay, so here's the easy way to do it. Are you ready? So you get your page with your flap facing you. You get your ruler and you find the centre of that page. Now these pages are 8 inches, so I know that the centre is 4. So I'm going to make a pencil line at 4, okay? And then I'm going to measure this pocket, okay, which measures 4.5. So I know the centre is 2 1/4, okay? So I'm going to line it up and I'm going to put an arrow, a little line in pencil so I can rub it out at 2 1/4. Then when I'm sticking them down, I want to make sure that them 2 pencil marks line up. That is how you can guarantee that it's in the middle of that page, okay? That's the easy way to do it. Right, so I can take my tape off. I'm looking for my marks. I'm going to join my marks up, and this is going to go up to the edge, but not a hair width away like we've done previously, so that when that page opens, the bulk of this edge is not catching. So a hair width away, okay? It's not an exact measurement, it's a hair width, okay? And then make sure it's straight, okay? And that will be in the centre of your page. I think it's 1 3/4. Is it 1 3/4 each side? Yeah, 1 3/4 each side. So rather than measuring and messing about, that's the quick way to do it. All right, so now we're going to do F. Let me just sort myself out so I don't have a big mess and I don't get lost where I am. F. So F, again, according to the cutting guide, move that out of the way. Fold and burnish. Don't forget, if I'm going too fast, if I'm talking too fast, there is a cog at the bottom of your screen. It won't work if you're on a TV. The bottom of your screen, you've got a cog. If you click that, you can reduce the speed, or you can speed it up, okay? Or you've also got the pause button. You can pause, do this bit, pause it. When you've stuck it on, press play again. That's the easy way to follow. Okay. So here we're going to cut across those X's again. Again, checking my work. Just need a little bit more off of there. Always checking, never assuming that we've got it perfect, because nobody's perfect. Okay. Really good burnish. And again, we're going to do the same here. So I'm going to measure this pocket. So this pocket measures 6 1/4. Okay. So that means that the middle is 3 1/8. Okay. So I'm going to put my ruler there and I'm going to make a mark at 3 1/8. Okay. I'm going to get my page, and at the opposite side to this, I'm going to turn it and I'm going to make that measurement at 4 again. Okay. Move that flap out. So here's the page. This is going to go like that. Okay, so it's going to go under there, on there, and we're going to line it up. So then it's got a bit of a border top and bottom. It just gives us, the reason I've done that rather than top to bottom is, it gives us opportunity for decoration with our lovely papers. We've got a functional pocket, but we can still have some nice decoration, do some nice matting and layering, paper piecing. It just adds interest, and then when you close it, you're going to have all the lovely papers. Okay, so if you're wondering why I've not just done it top to bottom, that's why. Okay. And this pocket, I believe, is it the 6x4? Yeah, so this pocket fits the 6x4's photos. That's why I've made it that size. So again, I can come in, I can find where those centre points are, and this wants to be flush right up against the edge. Okay, finding my centre point, flush up against the edge. I always start with one corner, press that down and move along, and that will be nicely centred. And I think you've got is it 3/4 of an inch there? Let me just check. Yeah, 3/4. So you've got 3/4 of an inch there, and what is it there? 1 inch and 3/4 there. Okay, so you'll have nice matting. What, I'm waffling, aren't I? I'm waffling a bit. Right, let's get cracking, Amanda, because we want to finish these pages. So that is page 2 front. So now we can turn it over. The flap is to our right and press down. And we've got, oh no, we've not finished. Have we? No, we've not finished, sorry. We've not finished. We've got these bits to do yet. Right, so H1, H2 and G. Okay, so we'll do A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Right, so G, you need to fold and burnish those score lines. Now you've got a 1/8 of an inch gusset score on this one. So do the furthest score away, okay, and then I do the smaller one. Okay, you might need to take your time because it is a small increment. Okay. Just take your time, do it a bit at a time, then go in with your bone folder. Okay, so you've got a little gusset there, can you see? I'm just going to reinforce that one again. Okay, so then with the gusset pressed flat, okay, you want to open these flaps, open that flap, sorry, I beg your pardon. I'm just going to open that and lay it flat. This one goes at the top. Now you need to be careful how you place this because the measurement says cut it just shy of 8. So I've actually cut it to 1/16 of an inch shorter. Okay, so I need to centralise it. What centralising means is that make sure that it's in the middle, okay, because it's not exactly the same size as the page. I'm actually going to turn the whole page upside down and do it from this side because that's how I find it easier. So I'm having a look between the score line and the edge there, okay. Let me just see, did I centralise it or did I go over to the... Yeah, we need to centralise it, else it'll look odd. So I'm having a look. I've got my gusset pressed flat. Okay. And I'm going corner first. And then I'm committing all the way. Okay. Alright. So now I can turn it back the right way. So this is the top. Okay. That folds in. That's going to go inside these flaps. Alright. So now we want the bottom one. So again, you've got 1/8 of an inch fold as well as your 1/2 inch. So I do the furthest away one first. then I'll go in and do the smaller one. But do it however you feel comfortable. You know, do it like that and a little bit at a time until you've got it. Take your time. Okay, but it is necessary, is that 1/8 of an inch, just to give you a little bit of room, because by the time you've added your papers, put your photo mats on, maybe a little bit of a closure. If that didn't have a gusset, it would be bowing. Okay, so we're just giving that a little bit of room. All right. Okie doke. So let me just reinforce that one more time until I feel like I'm happy with it. There we go. Okay, so disengage that so that your gusset's flat upwards, so that you've just got your 1/2 inch, and this needs to go on the bottom here. Okay, so again, take your time, centralise it, and you might want to close that one, okay, so that they kind of line up, because you're centralising and it's not an exact science. You kind of want them lining up. So overlap this one onto the top of it, okay, so that they're even, and move your way down to that bottom corner. Okay. And just take your time. Bottom corner. There. Once you've got the bottom corner straight, the rest should follow. And can you see how they're lined up? That's what you want. Okay. So G, E and F. So E folds, G comes down, and H goes over the top of it. It goes over the top of G. Then we've got H2, which is a pocket, but we're not doing any flaps. We're just going to glue this one, right? And there's a reason for it. So we're going to do a very, 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 very small bead of glue. Okay, small bead of glue. Not too much, because you don't want it seeping out and going all over your black cardstock. Small bead of glue. And the reason that it's a tuck, so this is a tuck, it's not a pocket. So the reason it's a tuck instead of a pocket is because I want it to be a tight pocket. We're going to put something in it which is going to keep the flaps closed, okay? And sometimes pockets can be a bit gapy, so you've got to fill them with loads of stuff. So this is a way of doing a tight pocket, okay? And this is going to go on the bottom flap here up to the score line. Don't stick it on the gusset, okay? And it is measured exact, so it needs to go edge to edge. All right, so edge to edge, and then just up to that score line. All right, make sure it's not in the gusset. Okay, can you see that score line there? All right, so then that will be a tight pocket, okay, that won't be baggy, for want of a better word. So that is page 2 done. Now, make sure you watch the other videos, whether there'll be one more video or 2 more, I'm not sure, because where we're going to put something in here, I will be putting, for example, just one idea, a little strip like this maybe, with some brads or eyelets, to put a tag in, which will then hold this. And it's these decorative items that I'm going to be sharing will not be on the cutting guide, so you'll need to watch the other videos, okay? So it'll be something like that, and then that will hold all of that closed. For example, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly that, because I haven't made it up yet. Right, so are we on page 2? What are we on? Page 2. Where's my page 3 pieces? Oh, they're over there. So page 2, so this is the back. So again, I've clipped them all together. Page 2. Right, let me just remind myself what it looks like. Luckily, I've got my samples here. Right, so, okay. Okie doke. So here we've got a waterfall element. Okay, so you've got 3 pieces exactly the same. All right, so fold and burnish. Fold and burnish. Okay. Now here, you're going to need to do a little bit of measuring. Okay, I am sorry. I am sorry. So what did I measure? What did I give? What did I measure? So I've measured 1/2 inch in from there and 1 inch in from there. So what you want to do is grab your ruler, and at the top of this page, so that's the top, okay, make sure you've got it the right way around, okay. So the one with the tuck there, that's the bottom, that's the top. So from the top, you want to measure in 1/2 inch, okay. So 1, 2, 3, so that's 1/2 inch. Is that 1/2 inch? 1, 2. I can never remember where 1/2 inch is on this ruler. It drives me to distraction. 1/2 inch is 2 of those lines, isn't it? Honestly. 1/2 inch, okay. And just do a very light pencil line. Okay. And then from this side, from the score line, it wants to be, did I say 1 inch? 1 inch. It just, then the other parts that we are doing will keep the waterfall from flapping about. That's why we're doing this. So with this flap, you want to measure in at 1.5 inches. So that's half. So is that the width of this ruler? 1.5 inches is there. Yeah, so it's the width of this ruler. So 1.5 inches, okay, from the edge of that flap, we're going to just draw a line. If you just draw it faintly, okay, you can rub it out, but also your paper will probably cover it anyway. If not, rub it out, okay. And then what you want to do is, all you need to do is add your first one. Once you've added your first one, you can rub those pencil lines out. Okay, so your first waterfall, I'm double checking that I've got this the right way up, and I have the bottom flap there with the tuck, that's the right way up. So this first waterfall wants to go flush with these lines here. So I'm just going to bring it, I'm going to actually have to turn it all the way around, otherwise my head's going to be in the camera. Okay, so I'm starting with the corner, I'm getting that corner in, and I'm getting it straight on that line there, okay. That will just help me. By doing this preparation, it will help the rest of them go straight. So I can now rub those pencil lines out, okay. Any discrepancy will be hidden by your patterned paper, so don't worry too much, okay. And hopefully you did it really light and you didn't press on like your life depended on it, okay. So we can rub these away. And that again is an easy way to make sure that those are straight. Once you've got one straight, okay, the rest will follow if you take time. Lots of burnishing. Remove the tape. Make sure you haven't got any eraser dust. Okay, am I in shot? So now this one is going to go against the edge of there. And if you take your time, oops, I'm going to have to turn it upside down, guys. If you take your time lining it up, it should be perfect. Yeah. Don't stick it on top of here, stick it right up to it. Okay. And can you see how they're lined up perfect? If you're not clever with getting things straight with tape, by all means use glue so that you've got wiggle room and time to get it straight if you're not brilliant. Okay, and then the third one. Again, start with the corner, get that lined up first, and the rest will follow. And then you've got them 3 waterfall elements. Okay, give them an extra burnish. And then we've got this component here. So you've got L1 and L2. Okay, so L1, fold and burnish along. Yeah, so L1's very, very easy. It just goes top to bottom. Okay. So remove your tape or your glue. Do we want to be mitering? I'm just going to ever so slightly miter that, so that I don't have any ugly looking angles of cardstock showing when I'm doing my matting. Okay. It's not essential, it just looks a little bit neater. So this is going to, so there's your waterfall, there's your tab. You're making sure you've got it the right way. Have I got it the right way? I have. This is going against the edge of here. So it wants to go flush up to the edge. Yes, because it's an outer. We don't need to worry about leaving an increment because this is the outer side of the page. We only need to worry about increments here. Okay. So right flush up against the edge. Okay, so start with one corner. Oh, that's not straight, Amanda. Get it as straight as you can. Okay, so it will open like so. But what we're going to do is we're going to put a pocket on top of here now. So this is your L2 piece. So according to the cutting guide, cut it, score it, burnish it. Okay. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay, open it up. It's going to be a pocket. So obviously we're cutting across the X's again. You know, it's super simple. A lot of things are repetitive processes. So once you've done one, you just do the others the same. Those are perfect. Can you see how it's springing up off my desk there? Those flaps are springing up. That's a sign that it needs a bit more burnishing. Okay. See how it's sitting flatter on my desk? You might think I'm mental, but it makes a difference. So we can remove our tape from here. And this is going to go on top of this flap. Okay. You might find it easier if you open the waterfalls, weigh them down out of the way, turn the flap towards you. Okay. And then this is going to go flush up against the edge and flush edge to edge. Okay, so as always, start with one corner and one side, and it should fit. It should be the same size as the flap. Okay, so that it's like a half-page pocket. Okay, and then give that an extra burnish. And then what will happen is we will create something which is going to go in there, okay, like a big photo mat or something. And then we've got space here for a closure, okay, whether it's 2 circles, wrap around, whatever. But we've got space there for a closure, okay. So that is page 2 done. Have I done it right? I'm panicking that, no, I've done it right. I'm panicking that I've put my waterfall on upside down, but I haven't. So that's page 2 done. Right, let's get on with page 3. Okay, I'm just going to very quickly get rid of some of these bits of trash so that I'm not getting myself in a huge tizwaz. Okay, clean as you go. Said no one ever. Okay, so page 3. Okay, let me move my glue out of the way. Okay, so let me get page 3 sample. Is this page 3? This is page 3. And the page 3 pieces. So page 3 front, we're working on first. This is nice and easy. Nice and easy, this one, she says. All right, so I'm just going to fold my flap out so it's not bulky. So you have got K1, K2 and K3. All right, K1, cut according to the guide. Fold and burnish those scores. Okay, and this is, again, super simple. So again, we're going to measure, it's 5 inches wide is this piece. So make a little mark at 2.5 there. And 2.5 there, This little bit of extra preparation will save you frustration and, you know, I'm not going to say the word failure because it doesn't matter if things aren't perfect. But if you want it to be right, you'll do the extra prep. 4 inches there. 4 inches there. So then you can line those marks up again and you know it's going to be in the middle. Okay. Remove my tape. No need to miter these corners because you're not going to see them. Okay. And I'm going to, it wants to be flush, top and bottom. All right. So I'm lining up with that pencil mark and I'm going right to the bottom of the page. I'm doing my best to get it straight and then the top one will just follow. Okay. Super simple. Right. So K2. Again, you've got your cutting guide and your scoring guide. So we're going to fold and burnish those scores. So when you're scoring, you'll score on your scoreboard there. And where the dent is, okay, if you look, one side you've got a dent, one side you've got a bump. The dent is where you fold. And it's also where you put the tape, unless I say otherwise. And I think on every single piece in this album, the tape is on the scored side. Right, so this is going to be another pocket. So you should know by now what we're going to do. We're going to cut across the X's. Okay. And also, what are we going to do? We're going to check our work. Right? Because we don't want those overlapping when they are on our project, or we will have bulk and it won't be a tidy finish. Then we always put it back on our desk. Can you see how it's springy? Needs extra burnishing. Okay. Boom. Right, remove your tape. Throw it all over. Right, where's this going? I think I need an holiday. Right, so bring your project back in, okay? Make sure that the tab, okay, which is your hinge, is to your left. Okay, that will ensure that you're putting this on the bottom of the page and not the wrong way around. So here we go. Bottom, flush with the bottom and flush side to side on this belly band. Start with the corner. Match the corner up, match the side up, and the rest should follow. Okay, if it's not perfect, you know, we're not going to come round to your house and whip you. Right, K3, another pocket. So fold and burnish according to the cutting guide. Turn it over, you know what to do. Cut across the X. Checking our work. Mine's hardly ever perfect because I've got quite bad eyesight. So I always just check my work. There we go, perfect. Is it springy? Yeah, so it needs more burnishing. Okay. Now we can remove our tape. Let me remind myself where this is going. Okay. Okay. So here, bringing our page back in, here's our belly band. We want this pocket with the opening this way. So you've got top, side and bottom sticker is going to the left. Okay, like that. If I've cut it right. Hopefully I've cut it right. Okay, and you want to go, do we want to go flush with the top? You want to go flush with the top and flush with the edge. So let me just just need a moment. Just get my corner straight, get my edge straight. You need to take time over this because they have been measured within an inch of their life. So if you don't get this on straight, then this won't fit because they're measured to meet the meat, okay? So take time over getting that as flush to the edge as you can and this as flush to the top as you can, okay? So then we've got a pocket here and we've got a pocket here and we've got a large belly band, all right? So that is the front part. I'm just going to give everything a burnish. That is the front part of page 3. So now we're going to turn it over. The tab is on our right. We're going to do the back of page 3. Let me look at my sample. Right, this one's quite easy. All right, I promise you. So you have got L1, L2. We'll deal with those first. Now these, let me just move my page out of the way. Again, you've got your 1/8 of an inch increment there for a little gusset. All right, so just take time over getting that correct, that 1/8 of an inch. However you're comfortable doing it, do it, okay? I tend to do things different every time I do them. Okay. Let me get that. So I always find it easier to start at one end, okay, and then just carefully work my way along, okay? Because the 1/8 is a very small increment. But if I did it a quarter, it'd be too, you know, we'd have to put more stuff in our. Right, so that's that one. And then you want to do the same with the other one. I know what I mean. Let me find that fold. There it is. Work my way along like that. Pincer, do it, you know, pincer style if needs be. Once you've got it, you'll be able to burnish it, okay? And then I'm just going to reinforce that other one. So these are quite simple. You put one to the left and one to the right, okay? So let me just have a look. So we'll do the right one first. This is going near the hinge. So what you want to do here is, and I am going to turn it that way, I'm going to just take some of it off and then fold it up, okay? Disengage the gusset. What disengaging the gusset means is if you pull it towards yourself, you'll see that gusset scar line there. So you're making that piece a little bit flatter and easier to work with, okay? So you want to, I'm going to actually just turn it the whole way around, but I'm working near to the tab, okay? And these are measured to go exactly top to bottom. Now, on this one, we're going to be a hair width away from that scar line, okay? A hair width away. On the next one, it's the outer edge of the page, so we can go flush. But here, we just need a little bit of extra room. So I'm just going a hair width away, literally maybe a 1/16 of an inch, okay? I'm making sure it's straight, okay? That it's straight there, and then lining it up, press my gusset down flat and pull my tape out, she says, that way. Take your time, okay? If you're worried, always use glue, all right? But you need to make sure it's edge to edge. You don't want anything hanging over here. If it does, just go in with some scissors and just trim it, but you don't really want that, okay? And this one is going to go here on the outer edge. So get off my silly tape back in. Silly tape back in. It's everywhere. I'll be traipsing it around the house. So again, I'm going to disengage that gusset, which means I'm going to fold it away from myself to give myself a flat surface, okay? So you can see the scar line. And then here, you've got your 1/2 inch binding tab. So again, I'm going to go to the corner. It wants to be flush up against the edge, okay? So let me find that corner and just get the corner first, okay? Then I line up the top there, okay? Then I'll do the rest and it should just follow, and that will be, and then you can just roll that and you're re-engaging and you've got your gusset again, okay? So then on the inside, where are we? On the inside, we have got L2. Super simple. We're finishing strong with another lovely large pocket. Perfect for your memories and also perfect for displaying those beautiful patterned papers. Okay, nice big pocket so you can use the lovely, you know, the full prints or whatever. If we do tiny little itty bitty pockets, then you're only going to be able to use the pattern papers. We want to use those lovely big 8x8 collage sheets, and you can on these larger pockets. Okay, give it a burnish. All right, remove your tape. We're almost done. Not quite, but almost. Okay, keep in there. You're doing really well. I'm really proud of you, and I hope that you will share your mini albums when you've finished decorating them. Please share them. If you share them on Facebook, if you share them on YouTube, if you share them anywhere, tag me. Put the @ sign and Scrimpingmommy and it will come up. Or if you're on Facebook, at Amanda Charlesworth, and or even Scrimpingmommy, it'll still come. I'll still see it. So this is going between here. Okay. Have I cut that the right size? Yes. Now you've got to be super careful here that you get it dead in the centre because I've cut it exact. And if you don't get it right, then it's going to be a pain unfolding your things. So flush side to side, flush with the edge of the page, not with the gusset. You'll see the 1/8 of an inch gusset. We're not lining it up to that. We're lining it up to the edge of here. Okay. So have a good look and double check. Right, so let me get my corner first. Okay. You don't want to be on any of the score lines. Otherwise things will not fold. Okay. Is that alright? Don't know if I've cut mine a little bit big. I think I've cut mine a little bit big. I'm going to just take that off. I don't know if I've cut mine accurately. Okay. Let me just check. So before you stick it down, just check the measurement of that. I maybe should have just done it a hair width smaller. Okay, let me see if I can get it off without, because Scorpal tape, I don't have any undo. And Scorpal tape's very strong. Okay. Let me just check what that is measuring at. 8. So you might want to measure this pocket just shy of 8 inches. It might be wise. Okay. But I'm not changing the cutting guide now. Okay. This is why you need to watch the videos, because sometimes there might be a little bit of adjustment. So 8. Right. So I'm just going to do it a 1/16 of an inch shorter. Okay, so that I can centralise it. Not even a 1/16. I don't even think a 1/16's necessary. Just under, just shy of 8. I'm going to do myself a new score line. Oh, I've cut it. Oh, bum. I've cut it instead of scoring it. Oh, fiddlesticks. Never mind. Let me just think. I'm going to carry on. And I'll just glue mine down. So on L2, ladies and gentlemen, L2, go to your cutting guide. L2, let's find L2. Sometimes, you know, inside pocket cut to 9. So it wants to be, instead of 9, okay, on L2, circle that. Put an arrow and put just shy. Just shy. So just have a look on your trimmer. Okay. There's 9 inches. You want to go just, not even quite a 1/16. Just, well, okay, go for the 1/16. A 1/16 of an inch less. Okay. So 8 and 15/16. Just shy. So 8 15/16. It will just give us that little bit of extra room because that pocket's just a little bit tight on these folds. Okay, now mine would be that, but I've cut my flap off by accident. But I'm not going to waste my cardstock. I'm not cutting another piece. It doesn't matter. What I'll do is I'll go with it as it is. So let me just check it's still going to fit. Let me just check. Let me do that same cut as you so that mine's exactly the same. So it's not, yeah. I just need to cut a small. Right, so mine's cut to the same size as yours. I'm just missing my flap. So yeah, it's going to fit if we do that. All right? Sometimes these things happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a thin bead of glue on the edge of mine where I've made that error. Because like I say, I'm not wasting. Okay. And the reason that I've got that discrepancy from when I did my sample is because the card that I've used for my sample is thinner than this card. So that just goes to show you, just that little 1/16 of an inch makes a difference, because this is 225 GSM card and this is only about 200, if that. So that's why I've got a discrepancy. So I do apologise. Okay, everything else is measured out fine except for this one measurement. Okay, so I'm going to centralise it. Top and bottom. I've added glue now so that I can get that right. Okay, there we go. So that's perfect. I've just got my pockets glued on directly without a flap. Panic over! This is what I mean. There's no such thing as right or wrong, just happy accidents, but at least I've made the mistake so you don't have to. So now you can see that pocket fits between those score lines and it's not in the way of my gussets. Okay, that's the important thing. Right, so now the very last piece, so that folds in and that folds over. The very last piece on your cutting guide, L3, is called a closure strip. Now cut it and then paper clip it to there or whatever, because I don't want to add it yet. Because if I add it now, it's going to make matting this difficult, okay, and even matting this difficult. So this will go on after you've matted here. And also we might add like a fancy eyelet or a fancy brad, but that is going to glue on there, okay, centralised, okay, with a border, okay, and then so we'll put it in the middle of that gap, okay, and that will act as a closure. Okay, when it's on, we can put a photo mat or something there and it will act as a closure. Okay, and it will keep those flaps closed. So keep hold of that piece, don't lose it, clip it to the page, and remember not to add it until you've done your matting. All right, so now all we need to do is add our pages. I'm just going to actually move this out of the way. Now you can actually fully decorate your pages before you put them in if you like. Now I'm going to add my pages because I like to flip back and forwards to see what I like where. So if you remember, we're going to start with page 3, which is this one. Yeah, page 3. So I'm just going to turn my album on the side there. Okay, I'm going to just have a dry run without gluing it. Okay, so making sure everything's straight. I'm having a dry run because if you get the first one right, the rest will follow. If you get the first one wonky, the rest will be wonky. Right, so I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to hold my page firmly there and I'm going to remove my tape. Okay, I've removed my tape. But before I commit, I'm double checking yet again. Okay, let me just move it down slightly. Making sure it's even top and bottom. Making sure that page is fairly straight. Okay. Alright, and then making sure I'm going to go with one corner. Okay. Take your time over the first one and the rest will follow. Okay. I'm leaving a small gap. Small gap. Right, so that's the first one. And then it's almost like a waterfall. Okay. So then you get page, which is this page 2? I've forgotten which is which now. That's page 2. And that's page 1. Okay. So page 2. So I can get page 2. Okay. Goes that way. Okay. I'm going to line it up. And it's going to go. Let me just think. No, it's here. Sorry, I'm going blind. So there's the edge of my page where I've added it. So this wants to go up against it. Okay. Up against it. So I'm doing a dry run. I'm having a practice before I take my backing off. Okay. Happy with that. Okay. Removing my tape. I'm a bit nervous. This is the first time I've ever done this. Not to make you worried, but it is literally the first time I've ever done it fully. Okay, let me just make sure. Alright, so I can press that. And if I go right up, and there we go. Okay. Okay, so that's page 2. Now page 1 should be easy because there's not as much flapping about. Okay, give that a really good burnish. Dry run, line it up. Do page 2 and page 3 line up? Yes, they do. I've done that nicely. Not so bad. They're lined up with the cover. Perfect. So let's get on with it. Okay. Right. I'm just going to pull that and crease it over because I really do want page 1 to be absolutely perfect. Right, so I'm lining it up. Okay. Lining that up. Making sure it's straight there. Okay, and I can pull my tape out. And I can press that in there. There we go. Okay. And we've got all of our pages in our album. Okay, they're going to be flapping about for now until we've done our closures. All right. So there you go. We have got pockets here, pocket here, pocket here. Flap, pocket, there's going to be a closure. We've got pocket here, pocket here. Then we've got this pull down flap with a pocket, tuck. Okay, there's going to be some sort of closure there. That comes down, that lifts up. There we've got a pocket and there we've got another pocket. Okay, so in. And then this one here needs some burnishing work, I think. Needs some burnishing so that it moves a bit freer. But that pocket there, we're going to have something in there. We're going to have a closure over. We've got a waterfall. Okay. Here we've got a belly band, pocket, pocket. Yeah, this is bothering me. Why is that like that? I think it just needs some work. Maybe I should have put a gusset on it. I think it just needs some extra burnishing, to be honest. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Once we've put, you know, like a large photo mat in there and a closure here, that's going to be fine. I'm not going to worry about that. belly band, pocket, pocket, open this one, large flap, pocket. And then at the back, lift down flat, pocket, pocket. I think that's turned out pretty awesome. The pages are lined up. They're not protruding from the cover. All we've got to do now is decorate it. So if it's the first time you've done anything like this, don't worry, it's the first time I've done it as well. And it's worked perfect, okay? Those pages are running like a, you know, like that. There's a nice increment. It's all in fine. Okay, just that there. Is that going to get caught? If I decide that's going to get caught, we'll just round it. I'm just having a look to see if I can see any immediate problems. No, I can't see any problems. That is perfect. And each page, when all of the closures are done, will lay nice and flat. Okay? Yeah, it'll lay nice and flat. And the cover lies flat. So it's not like that. Okay, perfect. I am super stoked with that. Right, I've waffled on long enough. I need to go and get a very strong drink and have a lie down. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.